What's up, everybody? Hope you guys all had a very healthy, safe, and happy holiday season, Christmas and New Year's. Hope we all got home safe last night. We took a break with the holiday season, so we're gonna cover everything we can from week 13 and 14 today. If you see the link up, go ahead and click it. Join in on the conversation. You can either come on the Zoom call and chat with me directly, or pop up in the chat if you feel like it. We should have some people filtering in soon. We always have a couple regulars that come in and shoot the shit with me. But everybody's welcome. Anybody who wants to click that link that I just posted, feel free to join in and participate in on the conversation. This is our Mooseheads. And everybody deserves to have a chance to be heard on how they feel the team's being run, how they feel the players are doing, so on and so forth. I do have a list of things I'm going to discuss, but feel free to intervene with your own thoughts. We got Dylan joining us. What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's going on?
Good, man. Good. Just pulling up the questions for today. There they are.
So I want to point this out just right quick, since it's not Moosehead related, but it's something that is on everyone's talking about. Connor Geekie will be able to play for Team Canada tomorrow. There is no
further got the one game misconduct.
Yeah, he just got the game misconduct, and that's from Mark Masters from TSN.
Right on. Well, that's good. I mean, he's a talented kid, a bit of a puck hog, so I don't think too highly of him. But he that's not to be taken away from him. He's a strong player, and we need him. You know.
Yeah.
So we haven't really gotten into anything. Like I said, the stream just started. I got some. I got the links out for people to join in if they want to join in. Just trying to figure some stuff out here. Hang on. Let's move this up. Where did that go? Oh, that's cool. I didn't know you could do that. Oh, that's so cool.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, I was able to put the chat window into the OBS feed, which is kind of cool because it kind of frees up some space, but I don't like it like that. All right. For some reason this one's smaller. Okay. All right. So we got the, if you're watching, nobody's really watching yet, so I don't really have to say anything yet.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. How was your holidays there, Dylan?
It wasn't bad. What did I do? I went to dinner on Christmas Day at my grandmother's place, and then watched hockey.
Nice.
A lot of hockey.
What is your holiday dinner consist of?
Turkey, stuffing, potatoes, and gravy.
That's it?
Yeah. Screw the green stuff, and I'll have ham every once in a while too. But just there was no ham. It was like I'll go turkey and ham.
Yeah.
So I just went turkey. I just went a lot of turkey.
I'm sorry, hon. When I said that no one was watching, there was 0 people on the counter. So I'm glad you're watching. Wasn't forgetting about you. And Melissa, when she cooks supper, well, any supper, but especially holiday suppers. Hey, Kevin. She goes all out. So like we had turkey ham. We had mashed carrots and turnips. My favorite. She puts brown sugar in it. It's so good. Whipped potatoes.
Why would you do that to your system?
Oh, it's so good. Fuck, man. Anybody watching in the comments, tell me if you like mashed turnips and carrots all mashed together with some brown sugar. It's fucking incredible. And
Melissa doesn't count in that question because obviously she does.
She loves it too. Yeah, it's at the next day they always make this what they call hash. So it's potatoes, carrots, turnip, ham, cabbage, all mixed into a pot and reheat it, and they love it. I don't like it, but they love it. All right, so a few people watching. We'll get right into it, I guess, and wait to see if anybody else joins. But we have 2 weeks pretty much to cover.
Yep.
We didn't play many games last week, so I'm not even going to cover those. They're in the past. We'll cover this week's games. and just talk about what's going on with our players overseas, and the trades and stuff like that. So we might as well start off on the easiest things. We'll talk about games 1, 2, and 3 of this week.
Sounds like a plan.
Game 1 was in PEI, and we lost in a shootout.
No, game 1 was here. The 28th, it was here.
Sorry. Okay, it was here. It was still a shootout.
It was against PEI, but it was here.
Yeah. Sorry. It's funny. I go to all these games, but they all mash together. I can't remember exactly. But we lost in a shootout. Milner impressed me. What's up, Jesse? Milner impressed me. I think he played incredibly well that game. He let one in on the shootout, but I mean, it's 1-on-1. It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
I think he made some incredible saves that game, keeping us in the game. But he was also beat a couple times that we kind of got lucky on.
Both goalies were.
Yeah.
On both
I
ends,
agree. I agree.
Right? Like that went both sides on that one. But Milner was also ran about 12 times that game.
Yes, man. I think we only got a call for one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was absolutely horrible.
That was after like the 5th time.
Yeah.
In the second period.
Yeah. Some really horrible reffing there. I don't want to say they were playing dirty, but they were definitely rushing the net, and
they were playing more physical.
Yeah, and I gotta. Me and my wife were talking about this. We gotta wonder, like, if Russo was in the net and the relationships that he's built over the years with the team, you think the team would have defended him a little more, and maybe ironed out a little bit of ice justice in Russo's honor, where they didn't do it for Milner?
Potentially, but Milner also knows these guys from practicing with them last year as well. Like, not as much, but he knows a lot of the team as well.
Oh, 100%.
So I say they would protect Milner more simply because he's the starting and star goaltender. I don't know if it's because of the relationships that he's built with the team.
I just get this sense, and Melissa does as well, that when Russo's on that net, in the net, that the boys feel a sense of I don't even know how to pay it. Like, don't fuck with my goalie. Yeah, and you see it in Team Canada too. Like, whenever.
And again, I contribute that to him being the starting goaltender. I think if Milner was the the actual starting goaltender for the year, I think he would have the exact same.
Okay, all right. So I misunderstood what you said.
Goal.
I misunderstood what you said last time. But yeah, like you even see it in the World Juniors with Furlong. When they're crashing the net, Furlong is very angry, grabbing people out of the crease.
That one there, I would say, is because of the friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the other team doesn't have that connection to him.
Yeah.
But at home for the Moose, they have a little bit more of a connection with Russo because he's been there longer, but they still have that connection with Milner
100%,
because he was with them in the playoffs all last year.
Yep.
Up on traveling with them and everything. So
didn't he only traveled the one time, didn't he? One time to Quebec?
No, he was
he there every time?
The whole playoffs.
Okay, I only remember seeing him getting off the bus once, and I only went twice, but
so they carry majority of the teams will carry 3 goaltenders when it comes to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Simply in case, especially on the road, if somebody gets hurt, they have their 3rd string goaltender right there.
Happy New Year's to you as well, Susan. Yeah. I knew that. I just didn't think that he was there the whole playoffs. But like I said, I only went to see the bus come back twice. So that was it for the first one. Chalk it up as a loss. I really can't stand losing against these teams that I classify not on our level. But I mean, if you look at the past, say, 15 games, they've really become more on our level.
Charlottetown has always given us issues.
Yeah.
Right? Like, our first 2 games were losses against Charlottetown. I know we didn't have our top guys, but they still beat us, right? Like, going into that game, I think we were 2-2 with them. I believe is what it was.
Oh, I see.
Going into the game on the 28th, I think it was 2-2 against them.
Yeah, but both of their wins coming from a time where we didn't have any of our key players.
But our wins weren't like stellar blowouts by any means, right?
No.
Like they were always difficult, hard-fought games.
Yeah, much like the Titan. I can't wait to face them again.
That's going to be an interesting one with Lamoureux.
When is that? That's 13th? No, that's the 6th, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think the 6th is when we play Titan.
But it'll be interesting when we play them and all the guys are back.
Yeah, 100%. Now, speaking of the guys are back, I have this on the list to talk about later. It's common knowledge because anybody can go and watch them practice. But there are 2 players practicing in yellow right now, meaning we should see our 2 boys return, Crosby and Levesque, very shortly.
So Levesque, and I'm comfortable saying this because he said it.
Yeah, he's told me.
He said it himself. He's still in the cast. It's still a few weeks.
Yeah, well, he told me mid-January is when he expects to return.
So he said in the box office as him, Crosby, and Ponzetta were walking past. We asked how they were feeling. Crosby said it's good to get, like, he's feeling good, happy to get out there or back out there. And Lou said it would still be a few more weeks because we mentioned the cast still being on. So
yeah, and then and Crosby's injury is a little bit different. But we're still hoping that he's going to make a return around the same time. So game 2, we were in Cape Breton. It was the Battle of Nova Scotia, which I think that should be a 3-game. That should be a week-long event. I think that should be, because now, we're tied and who really won. I think we should play them 3 times in a row. I think that would be more acceptable.
It's hard to do that, though, because where they have it scheduled, where it is the 30th and 31st, like the Christmas or the New Year's Eve one. Can't really expect them to play again the next day.
No, I'm talking
New Year's Day.
I'm talking like instead of playing PEI on Thursday or whatever day it was, Wednesday, Thursday, have that a game against them.
It all depends on the way that the Q does the scheduling.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I get where you're coming from, but we don't know what the availability is in other buildings at the time for teams to play elsewhere, at least this year.
That was our 1 win this week. And I mean, we didn't shut them out. It was. We didn't shut them out by no means. They pulled their goalie and they got one on us, and it looked like they might have gotten a second one on us. And I attribute that empty netter not solely, but majority to McPhee. McPhee pressed their boys really hard, forced the turnover, and Vidicek made a beautiful no-look backhand from pretty much center ice. He
didn't mean to do that. That was just I'm getting it in there, and if it goes in, it goes in.
It was beautiful.
That's all that was.
It was beautiful though, man. It was a work of art. Honestly, I loved it.
So in that game there, that was a hard-fought game, and every time we played Cape Breton up until that game, one of the teams has gotten a shutout.
Yeah. Well, they're a tough team, and they want it. Like, they want to prove that they deserve the spot in the league. They want to get more fans on their side. Like, they're hungry. And
the goalie that they had in was the one that shut us out last time we played them.
Yeah.
He got his first career shutout against us. So it's smart for them to put him back in because we were yet to beat him.
Yeah, 100%. And then
Granted, he got a few shutouts afterwards, but
that brings us to last night's game. I don't think I was overly impressed. The thing that I noticed in the last 3 games was our defense. Our defense has really, really tightened up. Now, me and you spoke with this today. We're not playing a let's see if we can outscore them game. We're playing very much a defensive game right now, and which is much different from how we played the first half of the season so far. We played an offensive game.
If you look at the way that this team has been built, and even what they were saying during training camp and what they were saying before the season and even at the start of the season, we're we were supposed to be a defensive team. We were supposed to be a defensive first team. We weren't supposed to be a team that was going out and blowing out teams 7-2 or 7, like having those 6-5 games. It was supposed to be defense first and build from defense.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, like, I don't know if it was for some reason the team not gelling, whether it was coaching, because we can say it was coaching, but we had the same issue with our exact same D last year.
Yeah.
Right. So it can't all be coaching if it is.
However, last year wasn't focused on defense. Last year we were a let's try to outscore them team. Well, that's been stated. But that was our plan. If we wanted to change that to a defensive team, then we would have had to have changed the structure in the training program.
We were, but I think our defense and that's one of the issues with changing coaching so often, is our defense was so used to being an offensively minded team that at the start of this year, in the first half of this year, they now all of a sudden have to be, they're looked at as the top defensive core in the queue because of everybody returning.
Yep.
That's a hard thing to switch from when your mind's go to now.
Well,
whoa, pull back.
We lost all of our offense at the end of the year, right? Like with aging out,
majority of it, yeah.
Right? So, I mean, we were still left with a good core guys, but we didn't lose any defense. Our defense stayed from last year. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, we didn't lose one defenseman.
Yeah, we did.
Ooh.
Because Mackenzie came up in the spot. I
don't remember losing a defenseman.
We lost Why Not.
Cam. Okay. Cam. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we don't need to say anything about that. Regardless, our boys are. We were left with the majority of our defense, so I could see why we would make that switch. And I gotta say, like, I'm noticing leaps and bounds from some of our defensemen, like last year to this year. McKinnon's always been solid. He's going to stay solid. There's a reason he's got a career after this. But Schultze and Martin in particular have really been impressing me. Martin more so the last 3 games, but Schultze's been just an incredible presence in our defensive zone this year.
He has been. He's physical.
It's crazy, man. He's been amazing. He's
been our best defenseman, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, and while we're talking about that, our next interview, we have some feelers out there. We have 3 people who have their questions that haven't returned with a date yet, and that is LaRue, who had some issues in January or December and couldn't do the interview. We have our Darcy Ashley, who has his and hasn't been able to schedule with us yet, as well as Jonathan Boone, who has his questions and hasn't been able to schedule with us yet. So we're waiting on them 3. But in the meantime, our next interview is going to be with an away parent, which is super excited to me. I can't wait to hear a parent.
So classify what you mean as away parent, because some people, when you hear away parent, it's a parent of an away team, like away players type thing.
So a parent, I'll just say it's Schultze's dad. So Michael Schultz has agreed to come on the show and explain what it's like to be a parent of a Q player who doesn't live where the Q player is playing. So we also want to get a billet on, but I think this is going to be a really awesome interview to hear that side of it. Because again, I said it before, the point of this channel is to let you know how the show is put together from one end of it to the other, and what everybody who's involved has to go through, and also to hear what you guys say. So that's going to be a really good one. I'm just waiting on scheduling with him. I'm going to make some questions for him today, and hopefully I can get him scheduled in the next couple of days and have that up. So Schultze's made a huge impression on me again this year. I loved the kid last year, but this year his talent is it's spiked. This is my opinion, but Milner looked good Wednesday and this weekend. So that's Owen. I agree. Milner is really coming into his own. We discussed it already in the first game when we were talking about the first game, but Milner is impressing me. Like
he is doing exactly what, actually, in my opinion, at this point, he's doing more than what you would expect a backup to do. Agreed. Because he's given us, when you have a backup and you put them in the net, you just want them to give you a chance to win the game.
Yep.
He's not just giving us a chance to win the game. There's quite a few times where he's keeping us in the game with some big key saves.
Yeah. So, and that being said, we're all adults, right? So I'm gonna scold you guys for a little bit for a second as a father. We're all adults. These kids are not adults.
Hey! If you're gonna scold them, you gotta get the finger wagging there.
These kids are not adults. I mean, they're young adults, but they're not adults. And a lot of these guys read the Facebook forums. Their parents read the Facebook forums. They're in these chat groups. And to be honest, it kind of disgusts me when grown-ass men and women, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, are in these forums and they're running our boys down to the lowest. After Milner had that bad game where we lost 8-1 or whatever it was.
3?
Yeah,
2?
Whatever.
I wasn't here for it. I was gone.
There's people out there trashing him. And, I mean, it's just like anybody else. He's allowed to have a bad day. He's allowed to have 10 bad days. He's a kid playing a game that he loves, and nobody should be out there running their mouth about him on a public forum for everybody to read. I think that's absolutely asinine and childish. We just had it again with somebody complaining about Dumais on a chat forum because he doesn't have a bunch of points over in Sweden, and
so
that's ridiculous.
Agreed, but with Dumais, he's definitely not doing what majority of people expected him to do.
How dare us expect anything out of him? He doesn't owe us anything. He doesn't have to face criticism. Neither you or I could get on that ice and do what he does.
No,
neither of us, right?
No, but he hasn't, and even the commentators are saying it. He hasn't been playing his game. He's been playing a different game and a different style than what he is used to playing.
Yep, he's playing very much defensive,
and it's not defensive. I find he's passing too much.
Yeah,
he needs to shoot more.
He's doing that.
They're saying it in the broadcast and everything too.
Well, he's doing that a lot at home too. When he's playing here, he passes more than he shoots, I'd say.
But he's not producing, and he's not. I'm going to say this, and I don't mean it in a rude way. It's just the only way that it comes to my head. He's not helping the team offensively in the way that people thought that he was going to. Agreed. He's battling in the corners a hell of a lot more than what he has been.
Oh, he's definitely a more proactive player in Sweden.
To me, he's showing more of an all-around player playing for Canada than he is when he is with the Mooseheads, where he's a point getter. And that's something that he definitely needed to show, but it's not what people were thinking they were going to get when Dumais was being hyped up the way that he was going into this. With Bedard being gone, they were talking about him being
the next Bedard,
one of the him and Celebrini being the two guys to help lead the team on the score sheet, and he hasn't got to that point yet. Hopefully the game-winning goal helps boost it and it improves, but it's just how it's been so far. He hasn't played back.
We also got to keep in mind the fact that and Russo said it himself, this team isn't playing much like a team. It's very selfish play out there. I spoke to you today about Geeky.
He said that about the Sweden game.
Yeah, I said that today about Geeky. Geeky will take the shot 9 times out of 10, even if he has an open person.
Celebrini does the same thing. Celebrini takes the shot more often than not.
It's different when you can capitalize on it. If you can get the goal, get the goal. But when a goalie's squared up with you and you have somebody in the back door and you choose not to pass when it's 2-on-1, that's on you. That's not on anybody else. And that was only one time I seen that, but it pissed me off. But they're not playing a good team.
I think another reason it also pissed you off because it was Dume on the back end.
100%. 100%.
I think if it was another player that if it would have been Wood on the back end, I don't think you would have even realized.
Probably not.
So, just again, my opinion on that.
No,
that's how
you're probably right. 100%, man.
Because I noticed it too. I watch the game and I'll notice Furlong and Dume out there more than I will some guys because we know them, we know how they play and everything like that.
Yeah.
Which, can we talk about Furlong?
Yeah, he's playing like a beast.
He's playing fantastic for Team Canada.
I just hope he comes back and does the same for us.
I hope it's the same effect that it had on Morvek last year. Morvek last year was playing all right at the start of the season. He played the World Juniors, and then he went back with the Mooseheads, and he was playing phenomenal the second half of the season in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I hope Furlong continues this the same way. Thing.
After his injury, that is, when he came back.
No, after he came back from the juniors.
Oh, okay, I thought you were talking about his injury because I noticed him more so after he came back from his injury last year.
No, I'm talking about right after the juniors when he came back after they won or after they got the silver medal before playoffs.
Yeah.
Like right after is when he really started stepping it up.
Susan wants to know if that was you walking down the street yelling Dume scored.
Yes.
Weren't you in the game at that point?
No, because it was after the game.
Was it after the game? Fuck, I don't remember.
He scored after the game. I was on the road going to the parkade.
Yeah. And then,
which I gotta say, can I tell a story about the game last night?
Let's hear it.
Or yesterday? So I was sitting there the whole time watching the Canada game on my phone, and the box where like Ian and the scorekeeper and everybody sits to manage the clock and everything. They had the game up on the iPad that they were watching rather than when the review happened. That's why the ref did it on the phone rather than looking at the iPad and talking because they were watching the Canada game. But anyway, for the game, I offered to drive two people home. I stand up, I'm walking over, reach in my pocket. Don't have my keys.
Where were they at?
Don't have my car keys. So I'm like, oh my God, go back to my seat. They're not there. I'm like, okay, where the hell are my keys at? So then I go up, meet the people I'm driving home. I'm like, I got to go down to the security desk. Go down. Not at the security desk. So I'm like, damn it. I'm like, can I go back to my seat and look? I'm lucky enough. I used to work in the building, so I know everybody that's there. They usually, if somebody asks, they get somebody to walk with them to make sure they're not doing anything. They let me go. And again, it's because I used to work there. They know. And so they got on the thing right away. Luckily, they ended up being turned in. When I took everything out of my pocket to go through the metal detector, they fell on the floor.
Oh.
So, and I didn't clue in because I just grabbed the belt and my my phone and just went and didn't clue in until after the game.
That
but
sucks.
You want to talk about panic. Oh my God.
So I got to address the statement that was made here in the chat. Owen Gale says...
about the goal?
Yeah, so Owen says, does anybody agree with him that the goal shouldn't have counted because McKinnon was checked into Milner? So I have a perfect seat for that area. I sit right behind our side net. And McKinnon wasn't touched. He stumbled and fell over Milner on his own.
And that's what the review was.
Yeah.
The review was to see if there was contact.
Yeah.
It was a good goal.
Yeah, it was a good goal. When they were reviewing it, I was like, it's got to be an offside that they're reviewing because it was a clean goal.
It was the contact because the ref after he passed the phone back to them said through the hole, and where I'm sitting, I'm lucky enough to be able to hear it sometimes. Yeah. He said it's a good goal. There was no contact on that. So they were looking at like the goaltender interference on that. But it was a good goal. As soon as I saw it and then I double checked it up on the replay, yeah, I was like, there was no contact. It was a good one.
So Paul chimes in. First of all, Happy New Year, Paul, to you as well. He's enjoying our take on what's going on. But he wants to know if there's any more pieces for the Moose this year. That is on our topic to discuss. We might as well talk about it now. I think that we could use another player. I don't know if it's defense or offense at this point, but I mean, I would love to see that Leno kid come to help us out defensively.
So Leno is the type of defenseman you don't like. Leno is an offensive defenseman.
Yeah, I know.
Just a heads up.
But the thing is our defense, as I just mentioned, has tightened up considerably. So I'm not. If we keep that play up, I'm not overly concerned. Right? I think that somebody who's a world class defenseman, whether it's two-way, stay at home, or offensive defenseman, a world class defenseman could help us. You know, I think that our stay at home defensemen right now in McKinnon, Schultz, and even Martin really lately has been enough to sustain us this week. And you know, we're crowding the net, we're moving pucks out of the way.
So to put it in perspective, and I just pulled his stats up here, in 65 games last season, Tristan Leno had 83 points.
Okay, how many assists
as a defenseman?
How many assists though?
63.
Yeah, okay, that sounds right. You know, coming from the point and them knocking in the rebound and shit like that, right? Like. That shit happens. Do we think that Cam will go after Manscum? I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so.
I think we're done with our 20s. I think our 20s are exactly how they're going to sit.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying get rid of Ethan
Larmont.
Yeah, but I actually really like Larmont. I
so
think
people are wondering why they didn't go. And I saw this as a post. Somebody was like, how come Cam went with Reynolds and not Manscum and blah, blah, blah? We don't know what the price is. We don't know what the price is for these guys, right? I mean, for Manscum, they could have wanted 2 first-round picks and Dume.
Yeah, it's got to be.
We don't know.
It's got to be a mutually beneficial trade. They're not just going to give us their best player.
Now, I will say, the Moncton trade that helped us get Reynolds, in my honest opinion, that'll be finished up at the draft.
Yeah, you think there's a
with either one or two players going to Moncton because they're making a push next year.
Yeah, I can see that.
And we might have a player or two that's from there that could potentially be going that way. This is no inside information at all.
We have 3.
Who's the third?
Martin. We have 3 from Moncton.
But I don't see, like, that's definitely not over yet. You don't trade a first, second, and third in the middle of your rebuild for picks and don't have it. I'd say you'll see our first and second probably come back.
The only thing with that argument is, isn't McKinnon 20 next year?
Nope.
Oh,
19.
Okay.
Same as he's the same age as Cataford.
Okay, so he wouldn't be able to go play AHL. All right. So then, yeah, probably so. Yeah. I would say that's a good guess.
He's the same age as Cataford. So if McKinnon signs a contract next year, will most likely be his last year in the queue at the age of 19. And what a better way to finish! And what a better way to finish it off than
at home,
playing it at home when your hometown team that you grew up watching is going on a run.
Yeah, I agree. So while we're talking about trades here, we disagree, and I'm not saying anything bad about him. Reynolds is a star in his own right. I personally think it was the wrong move. I think Fournier was putting up points for us. Fournier is now putting up points for St. John. And, well, he is.
He put up 3 points in one game and then didn't do anything the next 2.
He's still putting up points. He got 2 goals for them and an assist. Right? I think Fournier was playing well for us as secondary scoring. I'd like to see Reynolds do more. I think he has it in him. but I haven't. And a lot of people are saying it's his position. It's not just you that said that they don't want to see him at center. Maybe it's his position. Maybe he needs to be moved to center to do better. I don't know. I'm not a hockey analysis.
And I think that's the play when Dume comes back, because we've seen it all year. Jim is very much let's keep this one line together. Let's put all our firepower on one line.
Yep.
So with Dume gone, Reynolds coming in, and who has the ability to put up points and has put up points in this league for multiple years, it makes sense to put him up there and try that out. 1,000% it makes sense to put him up there at this time. But when Dume comes back, I see him being the second line center and playing with Levesque when he's ready, and at some point Crosby. But for the first couple of games when Crosby's back, I could see it being Kilfoyle or Ponzetta.
So Susan, I love Larmy. I think he's we've said this before. We didn't get him for his ability to put up points. We got him for his face-off prowess, as well as his grit, and I think he's a combination of LaRue and McPhee. In all honesty, I really like him, and I think there's a place for him on our team. And apparently he's just a really great guy. And I don't know if I'm the only. I don't know if I'm the only one who cares about our players just being nice people, but I really do. Like, you mean more to me as a player if you have a good head on your shoulders and a good heart in your chest than you do somebody who can put up 100 points and tell the fans to go fuck themselves.
Sorry, Jesse. I mentioned it earlier. He said a couple of weeks. He still has the cast on.
Yeah. He's been saying 8 weeks since it happened. Like, he's been very vocal about his injury. Mooseheads like to keep that stuff secret, but he has no problem telling everybody what's going on. And again, that's the thing I like about him. I don't know if it's that he realizes that we're the fans and we only want him to be better or what.
A lot of the boys are usually pretty open with the fans when it comes to it. I just personally don't like talking about it, because what they say to me or what they say to you and what they say to other people, one of the reasons that the Moose try to keep it in-house is because of other teams. They don't want potential other players, and there are some players that would target exactly what the injury it was when they come back. So that's one of the reasons that they try. But a lot of the time the players are open for it. When Crosby was initially out with the shoulder injury that he had, he was open to the fans that I'm fine with saying this now because the Moose had said that it was a shoulder injury and it happened at the Bacon Open.
Yep.
So he was open on what actually it was.
I just want to give a shout out before I forget, because I got a really cool gift at the game last night. So if you follow my Facebook at all, feel free to add me. I'm not a private person. But I was at the game and I was sitting talking to a fellow fan, and Matt walked up to me from MF Concepts, Creations. And a lot of people know him right now. He's the guy who's making pucks and designs and stuff like that. Well, he created my logo for the channel here. I wanted something that still showed that we were a Moose channel, but wasn't our exact Moose logo. So he created that, and then while I was at the game last night, he brought me a puck with my logo on it. And it says, the Moose fans, let us be heard. And I thought that was one of the most thoughtful gifts I've ever gotten in my life. And I just want to say thanks, Matt. I appreciate you, man. You're a gem. And if anybody's looking for any creations, whether it's hockey or not, hit him up. He's a talented dude, and he'll help you out.
That's a wicked logo. I just have one criticism that I think would have made it a lot better.
What's that?
I think it would have been better if there were more moose on it, because then it could have been like a herd of moose on there, right? And then with the us and the herd, I think it would have brought it all together more. But that's still fantastic.
That's a mean fucking moose.
Now, I will say this, Matt, I still want that puck with Russo holding this. I've said it at training camp when you first showed it off.
Melissa Landry says, I'm just putting this out there for those watching. The chat is open to join in on the call, and the link is... Yeah, exactly. This isn't just to join in on the chat. If you want to actually join in on the Zoom call, the link is up there. I just
and
posted
guess what?
it again.
Zoom's free.
Zoom is free.
Zoom is free for you.
Well, for you, not for me.
That's what I'm talking to the people that are in the chat. Zoom is free for everybody except Colin at this point.
Yeah, so I pay for the Zoom, and you guys join in and get to chat and let your voice be heard. Like I said, I think we've all said it. This is called Let Us Be Heard, the Moose fans, plural, not singular. This isn't my channel. This is for you guys. I just enjoy making the content, and when I first started going to games, I noticed there wasn't any secondary content, and there was literally none. You'd find the odd video on YouTube, but that was about it. So it's the only reason I'm doing it. If I don't get the viewers, if I don't get, stuff like that, then I'll shut it down because it just shows that nobody really wants it. I'm bringing players on to talk to them for you guys. This isn't for me. I have... This is fun, a fun thing for me to do. I love the Mooseheads and I enjoy going to the games, but this takes up time. So if you guys don't like it, I won't do it. But the more people that watch, more people that join, shows me that you guys enjoy it, and I'll keep doing it. Right?
Can I talk about something with the Cape Breton game, the home one?
Yeah.
So one thing everybody knows what's been going on with Jacob Newcomb.
Yes.
Right. That's very well known. It's public. There's no hiding it. He just recently rang the bell to finish off his treatment, which is fantastic. I know this is a Moosehead channel, but this is just something that just hits home for a lot of people. So he just recently rang the bell, which is fantastic. He was on the ice for warm-up. He is close to coming back. I know he's a Cape Breton player at this moment, but his family lives 10 minutes down the road from me.
Yeah.
That is one guy. I don't care how many times we play against Cape Breton. I don't care how many times we hate him. If he scores, I will cheer for him scoring.
I will too.
Because of everything that he has gone through. And it's just amazing that he is getting close to being able to play again. Congratulations on that.
I spoke with his parents last night. I think they said that his last doctor's appointment is on the 9th. And then he should be clear now.
Before he can actually be cleared of everything. But treatment-wise, he is done.
So, I don't know if you know, a friend of ours, and I'm sorry if you don't like this, I'm going to say your name, Krista.
Don't. Never mind.
Yeah, I already said it.
No, she posted it.
It's well known. It's well known. Krista had the same cancer as Jacob, so she has been in contact with Jacob and his family to kind of console them and let them know that she's been through it and she beat it, and she was a real, in my opinion, guiding light for that family. Letting them know that if I can do it, you can do it. And
I believe it's the same type that Lemieux had as well.
Is it?
Mario Lemieux.
Lymphoma. I can't pronounce it. But I just want to say, Krista, you are a fucking angel. We love you. I think you're one of the sweetest people I've ever met, and to be there for somebody you don't know, it's just an incredible thing. Yeah. So keep doing you.
It is the same type of answer. So the fact that Lemieux was able to come back and still make an impact, Newcomb can come back and 100%. Make an impact as well.
100%. Krista rung the bell as well. She's now been cancer free, God willing. Anyways, that was all.
And the Mooseheads also made me tear up last night.
I was just about to say, fuck you, Mooseheads, for what you did to me last night. With that 4-year-old little angel in the upper bowl who is now fighting cancer. I wish him nothing but the best.
First treatments today. Yeah, I think they said.
And I right now am going to go into the chat and I am going to put up his GoFundMe account. If anybody wants to donate, please do so. He has a GoFundMe up. I'm just going to try to find it here.
His name, kid's name is Jack.
Yes.
And it's not just you fighting. not just him fighting. He's the biggest one that has to fight, but he has so many people behind him and pulling for him.
Yeah.
And luckily, I say luckily in relative terms, when it comes to children and young diagnosed or people being diagnosed, there's a better possibility of them making it through.
Yeah.
So that's one thing.
Jesse says he went to high school with Jacob, and he's really proud of him. And I know this is a personal thing for you, Dylan. So like,
and that's why I wanted to mention him, because it is such a big thing to be able to get through it.
Yeah, cancer is a fickle bitch. It can get anybody at any time, and you know, I don't even know what to say. I haven't had the nightmare of going through it, so I mean, I can't really say much, but you know, I feel for those who have. All right, let's move on. Cataford signed a 3-year entry-level contract with the Knights.
Vegas Golden Knights.
Great
job,
buddy.
We're getting ready to play here in the Winter Classic game against Seattle.
Yeah. So good job, Caddy, man. You deserve it. You're Susan says, "Fuck cancer." You're a gem. You're a legend. We're gonna miss you on the ice when you leave, but don't leave without getting a ring first. We talked about Demey's winning goal. No, we didn't. Demey got the winning goal.
I mentioned that. Yeah, we touched on it, but we didn't actually talk about it. It was the first. I consider it the first point that he got. He did have an assist in the Latvia game, but if I'm being honest, that's an assist in a 10-0 game, and it was on the 9th goal. Right? Like, that's not really an impact assist, right?
No, of course not.
It's a point. A point's a point. They don't ask how; they ask how many. Yeah. But this is the first impact point that he has gotten for this team.
And hopefully it opens up the door, the floodgate for him to get more. Hopefully he gets comfortable with the team.
Hopefully they keep him and Celebrini together.
Yeah.
Because they were playing fantastic in the pre-tournament.
Yeah, yeah.
And then after Celebrini did that hit, they dropped him down.
Yeah. Well, they're both like-minded players. Their hockey IQ, I would say, is probably pretty much the same. They're like-minded players. Celebrini being a little bit younger, he has a bit of an edge for his future, but I think they're very much like-minded players, and both have the ability to find the open man and don't mind passing it when they need to. I think they're pretty compatible players. Russo,
playing fantastic.
The game yesterday, the only times they scored on Russo is when Russo could not see it. Go back and check the tapes. They parked one of their big boys.
And it was power play goals.
Yeah. They parked one of their big boys in front of Russo, and they screened him, and it worked. I hope that doesn't continue here. I hope that Midgley and the goaltending coach sees this and pays attention to our team, and says, we can't be allowing them to park in front of our pitch-up tent in front of our goalie. Get them the fuck out of the way. Because
do you think that's one of the reasons that the team's becoming more defensive in front of our net?
Well, they need to, because they haven't been. They haven't been at all.
But they started after coming back, right? They started in the Charlottetown game. They were more stay away from our goalie.
Yep.
But at that point, it was already known that if Russo can't see it, they can. But I mean, it's more likely they're.
So here's the thing. Isn't that well known by any goalie? If you can't see the puck, you're gonna fucking score. I mean, like, that should be.
It is, but
to me, that should be common knowledge, right?
It is, but this is actually being shown off. Like, there's two things that are being shown off every game with Russo, and it's that one that's known, but the other is where a lot of these goals are going in on him, and with the amount of players that are in the queue that are on Canada and able to see this, we're stupid to think that they don't bring this back to the team.
100%. 100%.
Right? They're definitely bringing it back. Same with if St. Hilaire was in net, I would fully expect Russo, Furlong, and Dumais to bring back where to shoot on St. Hilaire. When they play him in the regular season, or if we play them in playoffs, I fully expect them to have an idea where to shoot and throw that scouting report.
We haven't even seen St. Hilaire yet, eh? Our boy's been getting it all.
We saw him for half a game in the pre-tournament.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Go Rooster.
Which the last time Team Canada has gone with a single goalie through the whole tournament was 2007.
Wow. That's how good
and it was
Rooster
Carey
is.
Price.
Good for you, Roos. Good for Rooster, man. Love that kid. And you know what? After seeing the video today that IIHF put up, I love him even more. Like, he's such a funny character. And, like, meeting him, you wouldn't think he's so quiet and reserved. But a lot of players say he's the funniest guy in the locker room. And you can see he was doing, like, the emoji thing today. And he's a funny cat. Like, I like the kid.
Kevin, the deadline is the 6th.
My birthday. Do you guys think Russo will get drafted, signed? I think he'll get signed.
Height.
Yeah, I think he'll get signed, but I think he'll play most of his career in AHL or AHL. That's what I think will happen.
His height's the biggest obstacle.
Yeah,
and even Lundqvist even said that it sucks because some of the smaller goaltenders are so talented.
Look in the past. Look in the past. Wasn't Potvin only short?
I believe so.
Yeah, like there's been some amazing goalies that were short. It's just the NHL's moving to size, speed and size.
If you're as a goalie, if your height doesn't start with a 6, it's very, very unlikely that you'll play any games. If not, you won't play many games in the NHL.
Oh, yes. So Melissa says, happy birthday to Ryan tomorrow. So Ryan tomorrow will be turning whatever age he's turning, but it's his birthday tomorrow.
29.
29? I thought he was 29, yeah.
Dude looks like he's 62.
He does not. Leave Ryan alone. Russo is the same height as...
UC Saros.
I'm glad you can pronounce it.
Nashville goaltender. He took over for Pecorino.
So we talked about Russo. Next thing on the docket is my guy, Zachary Leroux. He got suspended.
He got 2 games suspension. Yeah,
2 games suspension. Last night.
Which it was not smart of him.
It wasn't
to do. That was a stupid play.
Yeah,
I understand why you did it, but it was stupid on your part.
To put it in perspective, I know you know the name. I don't know the name. I'm shit with names, but there's been an NHLer who's been tossed out of the league.
Todd Bertuzzi.
For the exact same thing. Not even different. It was the exact same fucking play.
It was a little more brutal and gruesome, but it was 95% the exact same thing.
And so it wasn't a smart move. And I get that you get heated in moments like that where you feel you're being targeted. But, you know, if you want to play on that level, man, you got to be more composed, more professional, and you chalk it up as a learning experience. It was. I agree with it. I think Buddy, it was a fucking shitty hit, and he shouldn't have hit Zach. But Zach, you've been playing the game long enough. You shouldn't have done that, buddy. Like, I get it, and he deserved it, but it wasn't smart. You got to think of you first.
No, the best way to get revenge is by putting points up on the score
100%. Hurt them on the board. That's right. So that sucks. We still love you and support you, man. And I don't care if you got a 10-game suspension. I'd be on here defending you, man. Still looking forward to you coming on the show. Hit me up. Wonder how Tyler feels about that, Susan says. Joanne probably never even told Tyler.
No, Zach probably told Tyler.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, so we talked about Russo, Zach, Fournier versus Reynolds. We discussed Soto crowd last night, but empty seats.
Yep.
That pisses me off.
Yeah.
So I have a suggestion, and let me know if you agree with me or not, Dylan. Cape Breton is now paying for their fans, and they're not. They don't open up the top bowl until the bottom bowl is filled.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. They want to make themselves look full, look to capacity and stuff like that. Why don't we adopt something that, like, after the first intermission or after the first period during intermission, a big sign comes up on the jumbotron saying, if you're in the upper bowl and you want to sit in the lower bowl, if you see an empty seat, fill it, or something to that nature.
Because people can still show up late.
Tough titty said the kitty. If you're not,
right.
But that's the thing. It should, like, I'm not saying without warning, but if you should know that if you're not going to be there by the first, your ticket's gone. Somebody's going to take your seat. And tough titty, too bad.
No, I don't agree with that a bit, because the lower bowl seats are more expensive than the upper bowl. So if you're running late, like if I have to work late and I can't get there until the start of the second, and I come in and they're like, tough, screw you, you don't have your seat anymore because you were late.
Yeah.
That, I'm going to be pissed.
There's at least 500 empty seats in the lower bowl last night. At least.
Yeah, because people can move down, but you can't just tell them you lose your seat. The building can't tell somebody to move to somebody else's seat that was paid for. They can move down themselves, and if the person comes, they got to move, but it can't be told.
They 100% can if it's written in your contract when you buy those tickets. 100% they can tell you that. Yes, they can. If it's written in, if you've agreed to it by buying the season tickets, then they can give your seat away.
So then they better give me my money back if I can't make it by the second period.
No. You're not hearing me out. When you buy your season tickets next year, they have a clause in your contract stating that if you're not here by first period and your seats are gone, find a seat up in the upper bowl. If they put that in your contract, they're more than able to do it, and they've already said it to you, so you don't get money back.
Yeah, they won't. That's completely unfair.
I don't think it is. What I think is unfair is not having the season tickets, wanting to see a game that's sold out, but yet there's empty seats in the house. That's unfair.
Still sold out. Sold out is the tickets that are available.
Yes,
sold.
But what I'm saying is somebody who wants to see the game that can't see the game because you have tickets and you're not going and you're not selling them or giving them away or doing whatever. Those are just empty seats that we can be filled. You know what I mean? As somebody who's not always been a season ticket holder, like, that pissed me off seeing all those seats available and you know, there's people looking for tickets online that couldn't find tickets for last night's game. You know what I mean? That's not cool.
Yeah, but that happens. That's every game and every league, every sporting event. That's everything. That's not just
so what
Mooseheads.
I don't care where it is.
Right.
That's not the issue. I don't care if it's in fucking Timbuktu. It still sucks. Right?
Well, I don't think Timbuktu could even sell out a 3-person arena.
So we mentioned we have 2 players practicing in yellow. Are we done trading? We discussed that. Healthy roster lines. What do we think? I have my opinions. I
have mine. But at the same time, it's hard to judge because we don't know if we're done.
No, I know. I'm talking about with what we have right now and on the injured list and away. I think we're going to see people like Fontaine being put on the back burner, Mosier put on the back burner as affiliate players.
Not affiliate. They're still on the team. They won't be dropped down as affiliate.
Won't be dressed. Okay.
Affiliate players are players that go play for other teams and get called up.
Regardless, they're going to be put out of the lineup. I think because looking at the names today of people we have returning and people we have a lot of forwards. Like a lot.
Yeah, we have what? 5 people out right now.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong. We don't have anybody that's not dressed right now. No, because Fontaine and Mosier are both up. Yeah.
Because we have the affiliate players up. We have Welsh.
Yes, that's right. We have Welsh up. Yeah. I really like Welsh.
You can't dress an affiliate player unless you have a reason not to dress.
Yeah.
The other people. Whether injury or sickness, which is what happened with Russo just before he went to Canada camp. They had to list him as sick or injured before they could call up the other goalie.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Kevin. I do. I disagree with you. It's not even if you're late. To me, it's the fact that if you're not going to be there, those seats were empty the whole game. 500 seats.
But there's nothing stopping people from going down and sitting in those seats. You can go down and sit in an empty seat.
Agreed. Then maybe post it. Say, if nobody's in a seat, go down and sit there. Right? Like, I don't know. But it's not even that to me. It's not even that to me. It's the fact that there's 500 seats for a sold-out game that aren't being sat in and people were looking for tickets. That pisses me off. If you're not going to go, sell the fucking tickets, put them back up for sale on Ticketmaster or whatever the hell you do. Put them up. People would love to have those seats. Right? What do you think of Reese? Susan says. Oh, that's not nice.
He's been playing. Oh, I laughed at something that's on TV.
Okay.
I got I do like to show it. I do actually have the Winter Classic game starting up here on my TV.
I love Reese.
They just showed the guys walking in Seattle showed up dressed as fishermen.
Yeah, that's fucking dumb. So stupid. But I love Reese. I think that is he an impact player? No. Does he have a spot on the team? Yes. I like Reese. He gives the boys the break that they need. He's very good at getting into the offensive zone. I like him.
He's still young too. Like there's things he has to work on, but there's things every player has to work on. There's not a single player on our team, whether it goes from Dume being and Cataford being the top two guys on the team in Vidicek to Magid sitting on the bench, who's an affiliate player. Everybody has something that they have to work on. Nobody's a perfect player. But Reese has been playing hard.
And he's made improvements. He's made improvements from last year.
Oh, he has. Yeah. But he was also 15 when he started with us last year.
Yeah. Like that's the thing you got to remember, too. He's a kid. He's a fucking kid.
He just turned 17.
Yeah, like he's my daughter's age. You know what I mean? My daughter's a little bit younger, but you know what I mean? Like, he's still a kid, and he's still learning. He's going to be, in his 20 year, he's going to be a phenom for somebody.
Yep.
Whether it's for us or not.
I could still see him playing with us.
Oh, me too, 100%. And he comes from a good family, too. Like again, on a personal level, he's a good kid. I like Reese. I like his style. He needs to be a little bit better at hitting, I'd say. Maybe hit the gym a bit. Reese.
I'm sorry, Reese. It's one of the funniest things to watch him try to hit because no matter how big the guy could be loose sized. He goes to hit him and Reese bounces off.
But again, that's something that should be worked with through coaching. You know what I mean?
Like it is techniques. It is one of the funniest things to see is to watch him try to hit. And I don't mean that in a rude way. I just mean like, again, there's stuff that everybody has. There's stuff that everybody has to work on.
Tell me he hasn't gotten faster this year, though. He had to go. That's a nice Fleury jersey. Like that kid. So, yeah, long and short of it is, I love Reese. I think he's a good kid, and I think he has a spot on the team. Is he an impact player? No. But, I mean, not everybody on your team can be an impact player. Healthy roster. Langell. So I want to touch on Langell because when we have Star on the ice, I always talk about him. Langell was great for the first couple games I've seen him in this year. Last night he shit the bed. There was a couple cross checks he didn't call. Bite me, Kevin, the Halloween candy. What? Okay, somebody explain this Halloween candy expired thing. Kevin and Susan are going on about some Halloween candy. It's fucking New Year's, boys. Like, what the hell are we doing? Langell. There we go. Who's this? Oh, it's Matt. Hi, Matt. His audio's not connected yet. So I'm just talking about Langell, back to his old tricks. He showed up last night, and it was a shit ref all over again. He was doing fine the first couple games, I said. But...
It was only the third time we've had him this season.
Yeah, but this is the worst. Like, he was fine last time. Last night he was a dick. Because you said Reese. Oh, Reese's peanut butter cuss the Halloween. Oh, that's mean, Kevin. That's mean, bud. How dare you pick on Reese when our team is fucking like 18th in the NHL. Like, how are you gonna pick on Reese when the Canadians are doing such shit? Go pick on them. They're men.
They're boys most of the time, though. Those Canadians.
What's that?
They're boys most of the time, though. Canadians. Come on now.
Yeah. Are you shitting
That's
on
what I
my?
had to say.
Are you shitting
Yes,
on my
I'm-
Canadians?
Yes, 100%.
You shut.
I do got to say that the atmosphere in Montreal is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't beat it. I love it.
Matt, you can
But-
shut your whore mouth about my Canadians, bud.
Man, I can't say much. I'm a Leafs fan through and through, so I really can't say a whole lot.
Oh
but
yeah, so you're used to punishment.
I am 100%.
Yeah.
I can give it. I can take it. It's all good.
So, if anybody doesn't know, this is Matt from MF Creations. He's the gentleman who made my logo, as well as that nifty little puck I got last night. I already mentioned you in the live, but if you want to find him, he's on Facebook under MF Creations. Motherfucker Creations.
That's not what it stands for. Wait, yes.
No, it stands for My Friendly Creation.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Kevin, buddy, if you're actually a Habs fan, I didn't fucking let the cat out of the bag. I didn't put any secrets out there. I love them, but they're absolute shit this year. And they're probably
They have been for a while.
They're probably going to be shit for another 10 or 15 years.
Nope. Won't be that long.
Welcome to being a Leafs fan, I guess, type things.
Yeah.
Wait for it. It's going to be as long as the Leafs till they win another cup.
No, I don't think your Leafs are going to win for a long
No,
time.
but you're going to be in the same boat as us, I'd say.
Oh, yeah, I'd say.
93, back in 93.
87 and 93, bud.
Ooh.
So Canada's...
Can I say 2016 and 2017?
Yeah.
It's my team.
The Penguins, yeah.
And 2009.
You know what? So getting off topic a bit, we'll go into NHL for a bit. I absolutely love that the Pittsburgh Penguins were literally saved by a Nova Scotian. Literally saved. They couldn't afford to pay their key player. They had to give him a part of the team because they were going under. Along comes Crosby. They get him, and he puts asses in the seats and takes them to victory. I absolutely love that. Not only is he a Nova Scotian boy, but he's a Dartmouth boy. Fucking love that, man.
I think he prefers Cole Harbor, I think. But
Hey?
I think he prefers Cole Harbor than Dartmouth, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Look, I live in Cole Harbor, and he's from Dartmouth. Dartmouth is Cole Harbor, point blank fucking period. And to be fair, Dartmouth is Halifax. Right? I knew you were going to say. I agree. So, anyway, Langell, shit. Just wanted to mention that. And Canada placement. Now, I know we spoke about this today, but they're slated to place in bronze. That's what all the experts are saying. Do we agree?
Craig Button has them finishing bronze in the tournament. That was before the tournament ever started.
Do we agree with that assessment? Yeah?
Yeah.
You don't think there's going to be an upset? Because I don't think America's going to be the team to take us out.
I say they can do it, but at absolute highest, I see them getting silver.
So Melissa says our postal address is Dartmouth, by the way. So we're in Cole Harbor, but it's Dartmouth.
Cool. Here's my question.
Every time you start a sentence with "cool," I just want to punch the screen.
who's the governing body of Dartmouth?
Halifax.
There you go.
That's because it's the Halifax municipality.
Mm-hmm.
But
anyway,
it doesn't
off topic.
matter. Canada's placement. I think potentially they could do it if we can learn to play together. I think we have all the assets we need. Melissa says, "Cool beans, Dylan."
Julio. That setting looks wicked for the game. Sorry.
So Canada's place is the last thing I have to talk about, and then we can open it up to anybody who wants to say anything, or we can just end this shit now.
So, the thing I'm worried about is, and before anybody says anything, the main thing that I'm worried about when it comes to Team Canada is actually Russo. And the reason I say that is because at this point in the tournament, with going into must-win games, if he goes down, Saint Hilaire has been cold and hasn't seen a single minute of ice time. That is my biggest worry when it comes to this team.
He should have played during like the round robin type fucking games.
The prelim. Yeah. But Russo, credit to him, was going to the teams and it was going to the coach saying, I want to play.
Yep.
I want to play.
Yep.
But at that point, especially if it was even Latvia, you gotta being the leader of the team, being the one in charge, you have to tell them no. You have to be able to say no. And they just haven't been doing it. I understand why, because Russo's used to carrying the load.
And you don't park a hot goalie either. That's another thing. You don't park whether the other one's cold or not. You don't park a hot goalie.
But it's what they've done every other year, and it's worked for us. It's worked for Canada the past 2 seasons, right? What they've did is it's hard to figure out who the hot goaltender is when you're not giving the other guy a chance.
Yeah.
Especially in a 7-game tournament. Last year, Milic won the gold for us. Milic wasn't the guy who started the tournament for Canada.
Hang on 1 second, Dylan. We went a minute without acknowledging it. How you doing, Owen? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining in.
Not bad, guys. What about you?
Great, man. We're great. We're just talking about Team Canada and what they can do to bring home the gold to us with Rooster, Dumais, and Fournier.
And I'm eating a McDonald's.
Hey, that's what it is right there. That's what it is right there. Yeah, can I chime in quick on what we have to do to win the medal this year?
Do it up. That's what we're here for.
So, I don't know, but I feel like those first couple of games, we were playing physical. That game against Finland, we were playing physical, but probably not physical enough as our coach is looking for.
Yeah, I agree.
We definitely weren't playing the Canadian style.
No, definitely not. And we just have to. And those 3 games were close games too, except for the Latvia one, obviously.
Who went down to Latvia? I know somebody went down to Latvia.
Germany.
It was Germany? That's embarrassing. Oh, do we lose you, Owen?
Yeah. Nope. Look at this.
No, I'm still here.
Okay, I don't see him.
Germany lost them. Germany beat Finland, and then is now playing in relegation. Germany might not be in the tournament next year.
Wow. Germany
versus Norway.
Okay, now I got a question on this.
Okay.
Who do you guys think is going to make it out of the relegation round? In my opinion, I say Germany. Because there's no way in hell Norway's beating Germany.
No. I wouldn't say that. But I'm heavily leaning towards Germany on that, which most of the experts and like TSN panels are saying it's most likely going to be Germany going through. However, the only thing that I don't say it's a guarantee, because the fact that Germany is playing in this could weigh on them, and it is a single game elimination, and that favors Norway more. Germany just lost to go in there after they had potential of finishing, I believe it was 2nd. So they're on an all-time low at this moment. If they can't pick up their confidence, Norway has a chance to beat them.
Let me ask something there, Owen. Are you a big lacrosse fan?
Yes.
I see that in the background.
Very big lacrosse fan.
Do you go to what's her name?
Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds?
Yes, I do.
You do. Is there a kid there that plays by the last name Brown?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
No. Okay. My son's teacher, she said her son plays for them, but I think he plays like as a spare, and he trains with them and stuff.
Here, I'll check their roster right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So what
the website doesn't want to load up.
What do you prefer? Do you prefer Moose or Thunderbirds?
Ooh. See, now this is a tough question. I like both of them. Yeah. I think both of the teams bring in great crowds. They definitely bring in great crowds, even when it's playoff time.
The reason I'm asking
even when it's playoff.
I haven't been to a game by the Thunderbirds.
The atmosphere is insane at the Thunderbirds game. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah, it's just not appealing to me, so I've never really checked it out. And the tickets are extremely expensive, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they are pricey. So they also have music playing the whole time too.
Oh, I'm not a fan of that.
I was just about to say that.
I'm not a fan of that.
So can I bring something up?
Let's hear it.
Because I saw this last night in the Moosehead fan group or fan page or whatever. One of them. There's people that are complaining about the Moosehead's warm-up songs.
Yes.
Did any of you guys see this?
Yes, John Siteman, the Moose DJ, he commented on it and apologized. I've had people go back and listen to it and say they didn't hear any bad things in that song.
So I listened to the actual the real one, not the radio edited version.
Yep.
I see nothing bad with it. I think it was Caitlin actually that said it the best on that.
Yep.
There's the song that The Weeknd won a Kids' Choice Award with, I Can't Feel My Face When I'm With You.
Yep.
Is about cocaine.
I didn't even know that. That's funny.
Right? That's what the song is about.
Well, here's what pisses me off about that whole comment is, and I'm sorry if you watch, I don't mean to make an enemy out of anybody, but this lady went on a public forum to complain about something that has literally nothing to do with her. She doesn't have kids, and her main concern was the kids. To me, that's a very Karen-esque thing to do.
And it's obviously somebody who this was their first game.
Potentially.
Most likely.
Yeah.
It's at least the first time that they were in there during the warm-up.
Yeah. And
I'm comfortable in saying that part.
And to me, that just pisses me off. Like, don't mess with stuff that doesn't, like, in our cancel culture today, to come after something so stupid as a song at a hockey game is ridiculous. John Siteman, don't change a damn thing.
It's already been said. He already brought it up to the people at B, and it's already being pulled out.
Yeah,
we're already more than halfway through the season.
Yeah, that's stupid. It just takes one person to say something, man. I hate that.
And now it's sitting there. Now it's just gone. So the player that picked that song now has to pick another song.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely asinine. I mean, do you remember how? I mean, you're not as old as me. I don't think any of you are as old as me. But like growing up, man, like I literally rubbed dirt in my cuts. You know, I listened to stuff that was crazy, like Color Me Bad. If anybody knows who Color Me Bad is, their stuff is disgusting. And I listened to that full tilt. You know, Boys to Men.
Kevin, the song title is "Stick Talk" by Future.
Yeah,
that is the song that this person was complaining about.
Yeah, to me, it's just an asinine thing to complain about. But I mean, it just goes to show you that if given a forum, everybody's going to complain about anything. You know, that's all I can say about that.
Now, granted, everybody's allowed to have an opinion on it, but if you're looking at it and you see one person complain, and 10,594 other people not complain, why are you siding with the one person?
Yeah. No one else found a problem with it.
It's one person. That's a good thing.
I have more problem with the fact that kids under the age of 12 are taking their shirts off and twirling it.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that bothers me more than a song. Like, and that bothers me a lot, actually. And I'm not calling up, the Metro Center police. Tell those boys to keep their clothes on. Like, it's stupid. Wow.
So I did actually go to somebody and mention maybe try to limit the amount of times that they're on there, because there are points where if they take their shirt off while they're on there, it's hard to do something like that because you don't know what somebody's going to do when they're on the camera, right? But there's times where they go and put a group of them that already have it off on it. I think that's where it could be limited.
Yep.
And I mentioned that to somebody, and they said that they were going to talk to somebody. But that one there, I know that's not just one person that's uncomfortable with that, because that's been talked about and posted about quite a few times.
And Melissa says, and grown women throwing their bras on the ice for these players. These kids, they're kids. These aren't adults.
So
don't throw underwear at them.
That was one game, and we also don't know who or how old the person was that did it. The person could have been the same age as them. Might not have been a grown woman. We don't know who it was.
Regardless, not acceptable.
I'm not saying it's okay.
Yeah, not acceptable. I think there's still a lot that, like, we ask our players to work on things, and I think there's a lot that we have to work on as fans as well. There's all kinds of people out there, and kids taking their clothes off in public. There's guys and girls that are going to get a jolly off that, and it shouldn't be done, right? It shouldn't be.
And to talk on that, go ahead.
But you guys watch so the CHL TV feed, if you can't go to a game, you bring it up. It shows exactly what's on the scoreboard. So you're there at home, and anything that's shown on the scoreboard, you see at home. It's recorded, and it's later. You can go back and replay it anytime you want.
Yep, 100%.
So,
Melissa says,
whoa. Sorry to cut you off. They're playing the band that's starting out the song, or the Winter Classic. They're playing Jump on It. It's a patch. They're playing Jump on It.
Nice.
Sorry, I had to cut. I heard it. Like I said, I got it on. This is fantastic.
So are they replacing that song that you're talking about? Like,
yeah,
it's gone?
They are.
John, if you're actually in the chat here, if you're watching, jump on for a second. Let's hear your take on it.
He already said in that comment that it was being replaced.
How about we change it with Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds by the Beatles? Like, come on. That's what I grew up listening to. I did not know the meanings of that until like later on in life. Like, oh shit, that's what they're playing?
There's people throwing fish over the crack and walking out.
Yes.
Instead of like water arches or arches going over them, there's people throwing fish over them.
I got a question before I'm sorry for cutting you guys off.
No, go ahead.
You're not cutting anybody off.
Like, can I express my feelings for a second on a call that was not made yesterday in the game?
Okay. You got 1 second. Let me get my timer up since you asked for a second.
Whoa.
He's being funny.
Dylan, come on, bud.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so here, I'm going to reenact it. So I
know exactly what
he goes in the corner, right? He tried to go for the puck, and then he trips, and then two Cape Breton players, one of them comes cross-checks him, and then the other guy's holding him down. How do you not call that?
Well, that's my issue with Langell. That's why I said that earlier.
That wasn't Langell. That was Putafant that was standing right in front of him.
Was it Putafant? Yeah. Regardless, it was a shit fucking call, or it was a shit no call. And I don't know. A lot of the times, I think if they call something on one team, they make it up to the other team by not calling something. And I think that was kind of one of those times where we got a call that went our way, and and they made it fair by not giving us that call. Is the way I see it, but I can't. I'm not in their head, so I don't know. But either way, we should have gotten a call.
Yeah, agreed. There definitely should have been a call there, and a lot of the time that is pretty much what it is. There was an NHL ref that's done because he was caught saying, "I just wanted to give them one to even it up," or something similar to that.
Yeah, that was on the mic, hot mic.
Yeah, it was Peel, I think was his name. I think it was Tim Peel, I believe his name was.
Yeah, and that should happen. And I don't begrudge that. I think what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And if they missed a call or something on one team and they realize they did, then we don't get a call the next time. I'm actually okay with that.
See what I don't like you notice and look at a lot of the games, whether it's the Q or the CHL in general, or you look at the NHL, a lot of the times the penalties end up being even.
Yeah.
Or one penalty in the difference. I'm not a fan of that because you're telling me every team plays the exact same. Every team deserves the exact same amount of penalties when it comes to a game.
No, of course not. I'm talking about missed calls. I'm talking about missed calls, though. You know what I mean? Like things where they should have called something and didn't, and then they do it for the others. I'm okay with that.
I'm not. Those missed calls I understand. It's a fast-paced game. Nobody's perfect when it comes to making these. Same with when we're saying a player should have done something. We see it completely different than they do because we're up in the stands, being able to see the whole ice. They can only see they can't see what's behind them. They can't see what's to the left. They can only see what's in their field of vision. So all of this stuff is us watching and coming up on it. So I know you're not going to get everything, but to deliberately not call something, no matter what team it's going for, because you missed something earlier, to me is not okay. Because if they miss, just throwing this out there, if they missed McPhee hitting somebody from behind, which it didn't happen, but if they missed McPhee hitting somebody from behind, for them to then watch McPhee get hit like that, I don't think it's okay going, no, we missed that one, we'll miss this one. We'll look away on this one. Or vice versa.
I think it's more of a subconscious thing on their level. I don't think it's something that they choose what penalties they're going to call and not call. Being a ref is fucking hard, man. I wouldn't want the job. You know what I mean?
It is hard.
And they have to make the decisions out there. And I'm the first one to shit talk fucking Starzomski and Langell. But the truth of the matter is they have a hard job. It's a thankless job. And half the time they get booed or talk shit to while they're leaving the arena. I talked shit to them last night. We were going over to Midtown. And all the officials were in front of me. And I said, oh, wait, are you guys going into Midtown to eat? Because if so, I won't eat with the likes of Langell. And Langell goes one way and the other three go the other way. And I'm like, oh, wait, Putafan, are you going in there? I'll eat with you, bud. And they chuckled and they laughed. And granted, it was a lighthearted, burn or diss or whatever. But they still get that. It's a hard fucking job being a ref, man. I wouldn't want to do it.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I like being a fan, not a ref.
Right? The other thing too is a lot of people don't understand. They're very much people.
Yeah,
they're humans the way that we all are.
Yep.
So if they miss a call and you start cursing at them, or the entire building is chanting "Ref, you suck," "Ref, you suck," no matter who you are, that's going to weigh on you at least a little bit. Do you really think we're going to get calls or get many calls after that? Just as a person, right? Like, I'm not, ideally we want them to call it right down the middle. I'm sure they want to call it right down the middle. But when you get an entire building or you get people cursing at you, there's been the odd time, not this season, but previously, where things have been thrown. Do you really think that's going to make you want to come out the next period and call anything? Or are you going to subconsciously do like a fuck you to the fans, and which is not the right thing to do?
No, but it happens.
By any means, I'm not saying it is, but it happens.
Yep.
Right? So we got to look at it that way too when it comes to Not necessarily like the light-hearted chirps, like you said, but in the build, booing is one thing. All right, you boo when the other team scores. You boo. I saw it, but you boo when the other team scores. You boo when there's a hit. You boo everything, right? So booing is one thing. I'm sure they can take that, but the comments that you hear being yelled, the refs you suck, saying that people are trash, like on the guys and stuff.
I say
it's not going to lead to any favors.
I say much worse. I'm so guilty of that. I'm typically yelling ref or Langell, you're a mutt, or Starzomski, you're a mutt. Like, I get angry at the games, and I realize once I'm home that I shouldn't have said it. Like, just like now talking, they're human. It's a hard job. I get that, but in the moment, I just want to throw something at them so bad. Right? It's just the way it is. I would never, but. So Kevin said, but they have no souls. That's why I laughed so loud to everybody else who didn't notice. Oh, shit. All right, I think we're done. Unless somebody has.
So I want to touch on some of the trades that have actually happened.
Go ahead.
So the biggest trade so far has been a player that hasn't even played yet this season.
Yeah, who's that?
Samuel Savoy. Or Savoy, sorry. He has not played at all this season for Gatineau. He broke his femur in training camp with Chicago. So he was traded from Gatineau to the Huskies for 6 picks.
Ooh.
There's a first round in 2024 that they got from Cape Breton. So that's going to be a good pick. I think that won't be a bottom pick, but that'll be a high enough pick. There's a 3rd round in 2024. There's a 4th round in 2024. There's a 5th round in 2024. There's a 2nd round in 2025. And there's a 5th round in 2025. For a guy who hasn't even played yet this season. Like, that is insane. And the timeline for him playing isn't even until like late February, early March.
Go for the playoffs.
Right.
Now that's crazy to me. Now imagine if we got Avalon instead of Reynolds. What would we have to give them?
I think if we made that deal for, like, the Mooseheads made that deal for a player that has not played yet and gave up that much, I think majority of the fan base would be pissed.
Yeah, there'd be an uproar, 100%. Yeah.
So another one that's really confusing is Vincent Fillion, the goaltender who was with Moncton last year, who actually played pretty good for them last year in the playoffs. And in the offseason, he got traded to Rimouski for Rimouski gave up a 1st and a 5th round pick to get him. They just traded him to Quebec Ramparts.
Well, we're gonna be playing Vincent again this year, so that's gonna be interesting.
Yes, because he got traded to Quebec Ramparts for one of their goaltenders in Miller. However, Rimouski had to throw in a 1st and a 2nd round pick in 2025 for them to take Fillion. That is a massive drop off for a player. You trade a 1st and a 5th for a player, and then you have to give up another 1st and a 2nd to get rid of him. When was the last time, whether it's NHL or anywhere, that we saw that much of a decrease in value when it comes to any player?
I think
that's messed up.
I think a lot of that is reflected in how many trades have been made so far too. I think prices are just really high. I think that probably had a factor on that. Whoever they want it more for them, right?
So the goaltender that they got is he's played. This is his 2nd season in the Q so far. He's played 27 games this year. He's 12 wins and 14 losses on the Ramparts.
It's just not that good.
No. So it's weird. They're obviously looking towards the future with this kid, but it's weird that trade, that they had to give up more in order to get him when Filion is.
Well, what about futures though? What if that trade's not done?
It might not be done, but Quebec's not going for it for a few more years.
Yeah, they're looking at a 3 to 4 year rebuild right now because they just went all in last year.
Rimouski's going for it next year, so it could be involved. But I think any players that Quebec has this year that they would be willing to give up, they would deal this year.
Yeah, 100%. They'd have to because they're not. They would get the most for them right now than next year. It's the same when we were talking about selling this year instead of buying. We get more for those players this year.
There's still quite a few players that haven't been dealt, and you got Tristan Leno, but his future at this moment is unknown.
Well, I mean, I don't want to get dark on it. He's just at this point, all we know is he's sick. You know, he could have COVID for all we fucking know, or a flu. We don't know.
So it was the Team Canada coach said viral infection.
Yeah,
is what he has said. That's the only thing that has been said.
Yeah,
but Tristan Leno hasn't been dealt. But we don't know his future. We don't know if he might even stay up in the NHL.
Yeah,
we don't know. So he might not get moved. But there's Manscombe, who hasn't been traded yet. There's
that's
who a lot
of
people.
That's where I think the price is too high.
Yeah, where a lot of people thought he was going. Rollins from Bathurst. A lot of people thought he was moving from Bathurst. I'm not talking about players that are just coming out, like players that were going to contender teams. Those are two guys right there that the moves haven't happened yet. So it'll be interesting to see when that actually opens up because it ends Saturday.
I think we're going to see a lot more on the 5th. I think it's going to be all deadline shit.
I think it's potentially, I think it's Saturday at noon or Saturday at 10 a.m. It's one of those weird times. It's not the end of the day on the 6th. It's like midday on the 6th is when it ends. So it'll be real interesting to see. At this point last year, the Mooseheads have made all of their deals.
I'm still hoping for LaRue to come back.
But yeah, at this point last year, the Mooseheads made all of their deals. We already made the Lawrence and the Doucette trade at this point.
Yeah.
So the 6th is game day against Moncton. So do you guys think that Ham's gonna make any moves on a game day?
Potentially.
It's happened before.
Potentially. All I know is that that's the one game I want to fucking win. I want to beat them every time we see them this year.
So I want to put this out there too. There is a slight chance that we have Furlong, Dumais, and Rousseau back for that game.
Yeah, if we don't go. Yeah.
Because Canada is now in the elimination game. If they lose tomorrow, they're out. All right. So I'm not saying would I love to have them back? Yes. But do I want to have them back right now, considering where they're at? No.
Absolutely not. No. I want to see the boys bring home gold.
I would love to have them back, but just not right now.
I want to make a gold medal puck with Rousseau and Dumais and Furlong. That's what I want to do. I don't want them to go home.
I want to. I really want. I love Rousseau. Furlong's a member of our team, but I really want Dumais to.
I'm sorry, the way that you said that just fucking killed me.
I really want to see Dumais get the gold. Like that's who I really hope to shine. I want to see him come home with a smile on his face with gold, right? And he's not even my favorite player. I feel bad for the kid.
Why do you feel bad?
I feel bad for Dumais. I hate the shit talk. I hate people always talking about his size. He's picked on his whole career, and then he does just as good as fucking Bedard last season, and he doesn't get the same amount of respect that Bedard got. Like I just feel bad for the kid. Like I think he deserves everything that Bedard has, and he's just not getting it. I don't like that. It makes me angry.
And imagine the standing ovation they're gonna get as soon as they come back if they do win the gold.
Yeah, they're gonna get a standing ovation regardless. Yeah,
Yeah.
regardless. They come back, we're all gonna stand and cheer for them, whether they got no placement, bronze, silver, gold. They're still gonna get a standing ovation.
Even if Colin's by himself, they're getting something.
Yeah, wouldn't be the first time I stood by myself.
Colin, I know you're not a fan of Bedard, but you have to give credit where credit's due.
He's a good player.
The kid has played 36 games in the NHL right now at the age of 17. 36 games, he has 33 points.
No, he's a talent. He's
at
a phenom.
At the age of 17.
He's a phenom. I'm not taking that away from him. He's a great player. I think that our boy is getting the shitty end of the stick because Bedard took over last year. That's all. He's a talented kid. He's going to do real well in the NHL. I wish if Dumais had 6 extra inches,
if Dumais bloomed earlier.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
Right? Dumais, you got to remember, Dumais did what he did in the league at 18 and 19, whereas the West is known as the more physical league. Like, they're just more physical. They start hitting earlier as well, playing out West. And he started lighting it up well before he actually made it to juniors.
Yeah.
So Bedard started doing it at a younger age, whereas Dumais, at the age of 19 in the queue, you almost expect somebody to start lighting it up. He did it before the age of 19, but at this point, like, this is what you would expect from somebody with that experience. Yeah. Like Lawrence and Doucette last year. It's what you expect from those age and those experienced players, right? So
I got something to say. I didn't say this last time because we haven't had a talk since I got this, but I got an email. So when I did the Lawrence interview, after the interview, I asked him to send a puck to a kid who is a really big fan of his and just sign it for him, and he said he would. And I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, yeah, okay, I did my part, but if he's going to send it or not, I don't know. Now, I don't know these people. They put a post up on Facebook, said, anybody have a Lawrence puck for sale with a signature for my son for Christmas?
It was a Lawrence or Russo, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Lawrence or somebody.
Russo.
It was Russo.
Okay.
I donated a puck and a picture. Just gave it to him.
Nice. So anyways, that same person, I reached out to them and I said, can I have your address? I'm going to see if Josh will send you guys a puck. And I asked Josh, and it was out of my hands whether he did or not, but he said he would. I got a message like 3 days before Christmas saying, I just got my Lawrence puck. So, Josh, man, if you're watching this, dude, you're a legend for doing that, making a kid's Christmas. That's amazing.
Well, he's not a legend. He's not a legend. He's a gem.
He's a gem. But the lady said that you helped keep the magic alive at least one more year for her son. So that's an incredible thing you did, and I appreciate it.
Funny thing with that, though, actually, I got contacted by she was looking to get a sticker made, so I made a sticker of Josh Lawrence, and actually, I got one of them here. But we made that up, and she's putting it on the other side of the puck.
Nice.
She's got it signed by him, and she wanted like something with mooseheads for it on them. So they actually grabbed that from me yesterday.
That's really awesome.
Really great idea.
Yeah, I didn't get to meet them, so if you're watching this, I'm really happy that it worked out for you. It made my day getting that message. Like, honest to God, like I'm a dad, so anything to do with making kids happy, especially on Christmas, just fills my heart with joy. So thank you for messaging me.
Can I throw some out there quick?
Do I need to catch it?
No. Oh, I see what you did there. Good one.
I like that.
So I'm not going to name any names, obviously, for personal reasons. But yesterday, for the kid that's going for chemo treatment, I think it's today. Yeah, I just want to wish him the best of luck and stuff. And yesterday, as soon as I heard that announcement, that almost made me cry, man.
I think it filled a lot of us with tears.
It go through just seeing a kid go through that at such a young age, it sucks, man.
So,
No.
Owen, are you a season ticket holder?
Yes, I am.
How long have you been one?
This is my first year, actually.
Hey, me
Nice.
too.
What made you decide to do it? I just like getting to know other people when it comes to this too.
I've been a diehard Mooseheads fan since 2012, actually. So
Nice.
So my grandfather actually got me season tickets at the start of the season, actually. So that first game, the home opener against
Charlottetown.
I was sitting there and we were watching the game, and then we went to go get food, and I'm like to my grandfather, we have to do more games of these. And he's like, well, he got me and my cousin season tickets. So he's like, well, you're gonna be enjoying all season because I got you and your cousin season tickets. And I'm like, seriously?
That's amazing.
So then during the rest of the game, I was just pinching myself to see if this was true.
That's awesome, man. That's a good grandfather. I hope you give him a big hug, man.
So there's Saturday's game against Moncton. There's a chance that they get one of their players back too. In Sump, he's playing for Germany. He actually scored for Germany in the Canada game. So that's something to watch out for.
That it is a something. That game where we lost against Moncton, like, I don't know how many weeks ago it is now, but he scored a bunch of good goals.
Oh, Sump is a phenomenal player for them. Like, he's one of those players. He's dangerous. He's been showing it at the World Juniors as well. It's funny. The CHL posted 23 hours ago. Sump, Moncton Wildcats, Jordan, Dume, Halifax Mooseheads, a pair of QMJHL representatives exchanging goals in the World Juniors.
Yeah, that's funny. I love that. And I just want to reiterate, the kid's name from the game last night who starts chemo is Jack, and I posted the link in the chat here for anybody who wants to go to his GoFundMe and help his family through this rough time. Yeah, I'm gonna end it on that. Keep Jack in your prayers. I know he's gonna be in mine. So whatever God you believe in, pray for the kid because he deserves it. Thanks guys for joining me today. I appreciate it. Owen, thanks for joining us for the first time, man. You're welcome back anytime. Matt, you're an amazing guy as well. I appreciate you, buddy. Dylan, you're on here as well.
Not me.
All right, guys. Hope you're all healthy, safe, and happy out there. And as always, go Moose, go.
Go Moose, go.